H.P. Blavatsky's work in India. Temporary headquarters at Adyar. Coulomb plot exposed. Psychical Research Society's report by J. Fussell. Published 1920. After Madame Blavatsky had formed in the US the society which, as said, attracted many from different ranks of thought, she went to India and there created widespread interest among the most progressive minds, both English and native, and here again she found both friends and antagonists. The light from her torch was too brilliant and the power of her work too great for the missionaries. It threatened their influence, their livelihood, and so, probably under the advice of colleagues in America and Europe, they busied themselves in decrying her and in seeking to make her appear as a charlatan and a fraud. This was in 1884. Madame Blavatsky had established her temporary headquarters at Adyar, Madras, India, which were paid for and built up very largely by American money, many of the donors and subscribers to the establishment of these headquarters for India being American members who later supported William Q. Judge against the attacks made upon him by Mrs. Besant, Cololcott, and their associates, and who at that time took no pains to hold or make any claim upon the temporary Indian headquarters which they had so largely helped to build up, but which are not now regarded by the true followers of H. Blavatsky and W. Q. Judge as a center for the advancement of theosophy in the real sense of the word. When Madame Blavatsky left India she established her headquarters at London, where she remained until her death. The greatest scandal that was ever associated with the name of Madame Blavatsky came from the efforts of two poor homeless and destitute French people, M. Coulomb and his wife. Appealing to Madame Blavatsky in Bombay for food and shelter, she not only supplied their immediate necessities, but gave them employment in the Indian Theosophical headquarters as caretakers, only to be met very soon by base ingratitude and scheming on the part of these two adventurers. Madame Blavatsky leaving the headquarters to return to Europe, this man and his wife were placed in charge of the building in her absence. It is not necessary here to tell the whole story, how the man, a clever carpenter, cut a hole in the wall between two rooms, made sliding doors and panels with the attempt to show that Madame Blavatsky had used trickery to impose upon the public. That this was a plot, pure and simple, does not require further explanation than to state the following facts. A short time previously, the woman, Madame Coulomb, had been discovered in the attempt to extort money from some members of the Theosophical Society. In one instance she succeeded in obtaining a small amount, but Madame Blavatsky hearing of it and immediately putting a stop to these efforts of Madame Coulomb, the latter, in the hearing of reliable witnesses, swore that she would have revenge. It was afterwards learned and published in the Madras Daily Mail that the missionaries of the Madras Christian College had offered to pay Madame Coulomb 1,000 rupees to procure certain of Madame Blavatsky's letters. Both M. and Madame Coulomb later, when their actions were exposed, confessed to this plot. The letters which Madame Coulomb turned over to the missionaries were proved to be forgeries. The sliding doors and panels made by M. Coulomb were such that they would not work except under the heavy blows of a mallet, and the false testimony of these two people was met and refuted by a large number of reliable and responsible witnesses. This was the state of things when a young and beardless youth, just out of college, arrived on the scene as the agent of a society then recently founded in England, which was anxious to make some investigations that would attach importance to its proceedings. This young man was Richard Hodgson, agent of the Psychical Research Society. He arrived at the Indian headquarters a few days after William Q. Judge, the latter having been sent by Madame Blavatsky as her agent to investigate the plot. When Mr. Hodgson arrived the hole in the wall had been closed up, the sliding doors and panels removed, and there was no trace of them whatever left for him to see, yet he gives a drawing of these, which in his report, afterwards adopted by the Psychical Research Society and published in its proceedings, he claims to have made from measurements of my own. This sketch, however, is a duplication of one made by William Q. Judge and pirated by this young man. This is the groundwork upon which the Psychical Research Society based its calumnious report on the character and work of Madame Blavatsky. It is not difficult to see how the intolerant appetite of her persecuting enemies was fed by these false statements, nor is it surprising that the sensational papers all over the world published the alleged expose of the Theosophical Society. But so far as I know, there were no papers in this country interested enough to seek for Madame Blavatsky's answer to these accusations or to publish what her friends had to say in her vindication, and so it is that even today every now and then one hears an echo of this Psychical Research Society report, which so far as I know still exists upon their books, though as shown again and again it is absolutely worthless, based upon the false statements of self-confessed forgers and ingrates and upon the word of a young man who does not scruple to claim the drawing of another as his own.